Alright, what's up guys? So this is my robot, and I'm going to be showing you my feeder system. So this was inspired by Smurf from Discord, so shout out to him. Basically the idea is that you want to be able to control the indexer and the feeder system with the same motor. And of course you don't want to have two motors because the V5 motor is really powerful and you only get 8. And you don't want to not have an indexer because then you can't control when the balls go into the flywheel. You just need to kind of guess with the, with the intake, and that sucks. So this is a pretty complicated system, but because the V5 motors are, again, they're just so powerful, it doesn't really slow down substantially. It's still, really spinning at a high RPM all the way throughout. So yeah, so let me show you how this works. So the idea is that when you spin the motor forwards, it's just going to bring everything up into the flywheel. So I'll show that to you one more time. So the ball is right here. I should put it here just to show the funnel. And it gets brought up to the flywheel. And if the flywheel is spinning, it would launch that out. Now if you spin it backwards, the intake is still going to spin forwards, but the indexer, which is this little roller back, that's not a good idea, which is this roller back here, the indexer is going to spin backwards. And that's going to make the ball go up to the indexer and then stop. So I'll show you how that works. So if you're spinning it backwards, the ball gets sucked up, and then can't go through the indexer. And then if you spin it forwards, it's gonna get brought right up to the flywheel. So you may be wondering, how the hell does this thing work? So the way that it works is there are kind of a lot of parts. So we're gonna start here. So this is an 84 tooth, sorry, I'm blocking out the light, here we go, okay. So this is an 84 tooth gear, and this is connected directly to this motor, which is driving the whole assembly. So this is, just plugged right into the motor, and then here's the shaft with indexer. Now this 12 tooth gear right here is actually hollowed out. I took a drill and just hollowed it out, so that can free spin on the shaft without a lot of friction. And this is a ratchet, and I don't really have enough hands to show you, so you're just gonna have to kind of take my word for it. But the ratchet forces the indexer to spin if it's spinning in this direction, and it can kind of free spin if it's spinning in this direction, so it can kind of do whatever. And yeah, I can't show you because I don't have enough hands. But yeah, so that's how the ratchet works. You can see the design right here. So when you hear that clicking noise, that's actually just the ratchet. That's not the motor, freaking out. So yeah. So then on the front side, let me back this up a little bit so you can see better. Cool. So on the front side, I have this one motor. I'm not really sure what it's called. It's like a single directional mechanism, I guess. It basically means that this sprocket right here is always going to be spinning in the same direction, no matter which way the intake is spinning. And this was kind of inspired by some YouTube videos, but I think that this particular implementation is original. I could be wrong. But yeah, so I don't really know what to call this. But yeah, so this is the same 84 tooth gear from this side that was controlling the indexer. And on this side, it's connected to this 12 tooth gear right here with these 1-bys. And the secret is the 1-bys can actually free spin on that shaft. So you can, no, you can't see because I'm blocking out the light again. Here we go, okay. So the, so this can spin, and when it spins the other way, it's gonna bring the 12 tooth gear up. And as you can see, these two 36 tooth gears right in here are interlocked, and then there's this sprocket that's connected to this 36 tooth gear, so it's going to spin with it, that's driving the whole intake system, right? So that goes down to that shaft, and that's driving that, and it's just kind of controlling the whole thing. So yeah, so the idea is that when this spins, to stop blocking out the light, here we go, okay. So when this spins forwards, like this, right, so it's spinning with the front down, so the 1-bys with the 12 tooth gear are pulled down. The 12 tooth gear is contacting this bottom gear right here, and that's making the whole assembly spin forwards. Now if it spins backwards, let me get my finger in here, here we go, it spins backwards, and it's a little hard to see because I'm not really spinning it as fast as the motor would be. But the 12 tooth gear, you can see right there, it actually rotates up, and now it's meshing with this gear. And when it meshes with this gear, right, because this gear is meshing now with this gear, it's going to spin in the same direction. So let me show that to you with the motor power. So here we go. So If I spin it in this direction, just like that, you can see the intake is spinning forwards, right? Everything is going forwards. Great. And if I spin it the other way, the exact same thing is going to happen, except the 12-tooth gear is going to go up. So I'll show that to you guys. And as you can see, the intake is still spinning forwards. So basically the intake is always going to spin forwards no matter what, and then the indexer back here is going, there we go. The indexer back here is going to spin either, ratcheted in whichever direction, or it's going to spin and, feed the ball into the flywheel, depending on the direction of the motor. So I'll just show you guys how this works with some balls. Cool. So here's the ball. We're going to feed that in. And I'm not spinning it in the direction that the indexer is going to spin backwards. So it's going to prevent the ball from entering the flywheel. So just like that, you can see the ball. It's a little hard to see, but it's that like yellow in there. Just like that, just kind of hanging out. And if we do the same thing with the second ball, goes up. You can see there's actually not a lot of resistance. The intake is still spinning at full speed, even with the two balls in there just kind of locked in. And then, as soon as you spin it the other direction, I'll show you from the top now, the balls are just going to be fed right into the flywheel, and, right, with the same direction, the intake is still spinning forwards. So it's a pretty complicated mechanism. There are a lot of gears. But because the V5 motors are so powerful, and because you don't need any torque on the system, you just need it to get the balls up to the flywheel, that doesn't really matter. The key is that it just uses one motor, and that's really what's the most important thing. So that is my intake system. Thank you for watching.